Meteorologist Mark Molnar. As always, I want to thank you for joining me for this edition of Weather Northeastern. We've got a lot to talk about. We're going to get into quite a back and forth when it comes to temperatures with the roller coaster ride, with the colder temperatures to start the weekend. And then, yes, we got some wet snowflakes in parts of the northern northeast here, southeast Canada. Not looking very good to start off your weekend, but we transition into a big warming trend next week. A lot of severe weather to deal with here in the southern states as well. So without wasting any more time, let's just dive right into it. As always, don't forget to subscribe, hit that bell button so you get alerted when I come out with one of these videos. Let's get right into it. I want to briefly touch on this loop here of the NAM 3-kilometer. We have a low pressure system that is going to be moving across the northeast Thursday night and early Friday from the New York-Pennsylvania border eastward to southern New England and then exiting off the coastline. It will be strengthening as it does so, there's going to be a lot of pressure gradient behind this system as high pressure moves across the Midwest, and that's going to spell problems for the wind speeds. As you can see, that wind speed really drops down initially with the front, the low pressure system ahead of it, but it's behind it where we really get those howling winds out of the northwest, anywhere from 20 to 40 miles per hour with higher gusts that could mix down to the surface near 50 to 55 miles per hour. This is going to be a problem. Places such as Syracuse, Binghamton, New York, Wilkes-Barrie, Scranton, Albany, over to Hartford, Connecticut, New York City, Harrisburg, Philadelphia, Atlantic City, down into the Delmarva Peninsula, Long Island. So all these areas could be seeing some damaging wind speeds out of this. You can see those wind advisories across the Northeast. Taking a look at departure from average temperatures, this is the fun part of the forecast here across the east. We're going to be looking at above average temperatures from Arkansas all the way up to Pennsylvania and New York State, parts of Virginia, anywhere from 18 to 24 degrees above your average. Now you look up here in the parts of the Northeast, especially across upstate New York. This is where you see a tight temperature gradient. There's going to be a front moving across the area, moving back and forth. This is going to spell trouble here across the Northeast, so we'll be heading into a bit of an unsettled weather pattern here across parts of the Northeast. So you want to stay tuned for that. You see places like Syracuse to Binghamton, you go from a very tight gradient, Albany not even seeing temperatures above normal. But look at that, the state of Pennsylvania, mostly very warm temperatures for your next week. So you're going to want to stay tuned for this across the east. This is going to be the big headline catcher of next week. And as you know, we get these kind of temperatures, we also will have severe weather. So let's get right into that. And taking a look at severe weather for your Friday. It will be pretty marginal here across the south, the Gulf Coast area. States like Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, and into Georgia and parts of northern Florida. This is where we'll see severe weather, very on the marginal. We're not looking at any outbreak, but we may have an isolated storm that produces a damaging wind, large hail. Not really expecting any sort of tornadoes out of this. This is a very marginal risk of severe weather. Here's the big map for your Sunday. This is going to be a big focusing point here for severe thunderstorms. I think we have a rather vigorous storm system that will be moving out of the southern plains, developing pretty strong here. Severe thunderstorms with damaging wind, large hail across parts of eastern Texas, Arkansas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, and parts of western Georgia later in the day. So we start out damaging wind, large hail. Cannot rule out tornadoes as well. We're looking at a slight to enhance risk here, especially eastern Texas, parts of Louisiana, southern Arkansas, and parts of Mississippi and extreme west central Alabama. Enhanced risk at this point, I believe. This is what we have going on with that low pressure system that will be moving out of the southern plains. Dynamics looking much more promising, and this will probably carry over into the rest of next week. So you want to stay tuned for that. And NEO index, look at this. We continue to stay negative. Despite all those warming trends here across the east, we will have some of those systems that will have a tendency to strengthen and slow move across parts of northeastern North America here. So unsettled weather pattern continuing, especially across the east, as we get the battle of the seasons setting up. And precipitation totals here across North America. Take a look at this, the big lion's share. This is going to be mainly with that major storm system, especially later in the weekend across Texas. Look at that, 3 to as much as 5 inches of rain out of this. Locally higher amounts to 5 to 7 inches. Here across parts of the Northeast as well. You get up into northern New York, northern New England later on in the weekend into early next week. And across the west, we're really riding high here with the systems pushing way up. Colorado, of course, we have some problems as well. But stormy conditions remain here across much of the east. And let's look at the weather pattern. This is the pattern that's really going to take us through pretty much all of next week. We're going to be seeing a major warming trend developing here across the east. You see the subtropical ridge really pushing high, well up into the Great Lakes and into parts of central New England. We have the polar jet briefly touching parts of Montana, northern Idaho here, but pretty much staying out of the picture across most of the eastern part of the country here. We have that NAO negative index up there in parts of northeastern North America here. But that's the big story here is going to be parts of the east with the warming temperatures and the severe thunderstorms on the southern end of all of this warmth. Here we go, TGIF across the northeast. Look at this. What I don't show you here is how windy it's going to be. It will be scattered showers, but the big thing is going to be the wind, especially from the Lake Ontario plain down towards Binghamton, Scranton, New York City's Harrisburg, Boston, Albany. These areas will be seeing wind gusts as high as 45 or 50 miles per hour, especially during pretty much most of the day, actually. So as the low pressure system moves across much of the east here and moves off the coastline, and there'll be another front moving in from the west later in the day. This is just going to reinforce that problem with the wind that we will be seeing across the northeast here. So the big story is going to be the howling wind. Now, if you're near Erie, Pittsburgh, State College, or Buffalo, Toronto, you will still see winds, but we're not going to see a lot of those mixing down to the surface like we will in the central and eastern part of our forecast area. From I-81 eastward, that's basically where you can tell there's going to be the most highest wind speeds out of this system. So really, it's a wild Friday across the northeast. All right, Saturday across the northeast. We'll still be dealing with some wind, but that will be lifting out through mid to late morning. Places across New England will see, still continue to see wind later in the day, but definitely not as bad as Friday night across the northeast. The big story will be the sunny skies. We'll scour out those clouds, get high pressure starting to move in from the west, from the Midwest, and we'll start to warm things up a bit. We'll get up near 66 towards Pittsburgh, 67 in Harrisburg, and New York City, 67, Boston, 63. Binghamton, not too bad. We'll head up near 60 degrees, State College, 64. So this actually isn't too bad. You can really, it's a really nice Saturday to really get out there and enjoy. If you want to get out to New York City, it's a really beautiful time of year to visit it. I got a lot of the trees really blossoming here across the northeast this time of year, so it's really just a picture-perfect day to get out there and enjoy it. And here we got Sunday across the northeast. You knew it would be a warm front moving in at some point, as I did advertise there was going to be a big warming trend here across the northeast. You can see we'll be eclipsing, if I can say that word correctly there, eclipsing 80 degrees by later Sunday afternoon across Harrisburg and Pittsburgh. Look at that across the northeast. We get 72 near Binghamton, 77 at double sevens. Lucky double sevens there in State College. And look at that, and even New York City, 74 degrees. Get out there and enjoy it. Even into northern New York here, we'll see some scattered showers moving in. Burlington, 63, 66 in Syracuse. So get out there and enjoy. All right, Monday across the northeast. Yes, I know it's your most least favorite day of the week. Yeah, it's my most least favorite day of the week as well, but we'll get through it together. A case of the Mondays. Yep, you will have a case of the Mondays across the northeast as scattered showers move in. Now, it's not all bad news. Look at this. These temperatures is pretty above normal for this time of year. Double sevens right there, dead center in Binghamton, New York. Look at that. 72 in Albany, 72 in Boston, 71 in Syracuse. Look at that. Beautiful, blossoming 82 degrees there in Harrisburg. It's just a picture-perfect day if you minus all of those scattered showers that will be moving across the area. We got that frontal boundary draped across southern Ontario up there. You see it up towards Toronto. But that should stay up there at least most of the day Monday. It starts to come crashing down later on in the week on Tuesday and Wednesday as it kind of bisects across the region. We'll see a much tighter baroclinic zone setting up that's going to set up a stormy pattern here across the northeast. Take a look at the extended outlook for my hometown viewers from Binghamton to Scranton's upper Susquehanna region of upstate New York and northeast Pennsylvania. Let's take a look. We're going to be looking at the most wildest weather occurring on Friday. Wind gusts upwards of 45 miles per hour. So sustained winds between 15 and 30, gusts to 45 likely. It's going to be a wild TGIF here across the area. and only getting up towards the upper 50s, low around 48. Saturday, we continue those winds continuing to howl out of the northwest at 15 to 30 miles per hour gusts, maybe as high as 35, but that'll be slackening off towards the afternoon. So if you want to get out there and enjoy things, it should see upwards near 60 degrees. Into your Sunday, we have some scattered showers later in the afternoon, but we will be much warmer into the lower 70s. And look at that for your Monday. Yep, the case of the Mondays. It won't be too bad, upwards of near the mid-70s. And look at that, lows looking much better. We have a chance of showers pretty much each day, but not looking too bad, to say the least. So there you have it. That's what we're looking at here for the upper Susquehanna region of upstate New York into northeast Pennsylvania. As always, I want to thank you for joining me for this edition of Weather Northeastern. Don't forget to give my Facebook page some love. It's MeteoMark, also Weather Northeastern, or Hurricane Northeastern. All three. Just go ahead and like all three. That'll do me a big favor. Also, support the channel, subscribe, hit that bell button so that you get alerted when I come out with one of these videos. And as always, it's MeteoMark.com and WeatherNortheastern.com. As always, thank you for joining me. Don't forget to like that video as well.